Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I've got another what I eat in a day on Brightline Eating as a vegan. If you like these types of videos, go ahead and leave me a smiley face in the comment section down below. So for breakfast, as always, I use frozen fruit because it makes things super fast and simple. I've got a berry and mango mix here, and I use 4 ounces, and I'm going to throw this in the microwave for a minute and thaw it. And I'm going to use my other 2 ounces to add to some oatmeal in just a second here. So I'm going to do 1 ounces of oats, as you see right here. And then normally I do blueberries in my oatmeal, but today, since I had a berry mix for my 4 ounces of fruit, I'm going to go ahead and use frozen cherries in my oatmeal instead. So that way I get kind of a wide variety of fruits. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add in a little bit of water, and then I'm going to microwave my oatmeal for 2 minutes. And because the fruit is frozen, it turns out perfectly. And then there is my cooked oatmeal there. I'm going to go ahead and add some cinnamon, and I'm going to add some milk. That is a 1/4 cup of milk. And then the jar in the background there is actually a 1/2 ounce of chia seeds and half a cup of soy milk to make a chia pudding. And I put that in the fridge last night. Okay, now for lunch, I kind of needed to clear out my fridge. So last night I made black bean burgers for dinner, so I need to use those up. So I'm going to measure out 6 ounces of black bean burgers, and then I also have some like spaghetti squash and some marinara sauce, and I'm going to use the black bean burgers to kind of make like a meat sauce with that, but I don't want to use all 6 ounces because that's a lot of burgers in what little spaghetti squash I have left, as you'll see. So I took some of those out. And then I'm going to go ahead and zero out my scale, and I'm going to measure out 10 ounces of spaghetti squash and my marinara sauce. And then, as you'll see, I also have a little corn on the cob, which is equal to about 3.5 ounces or so of vegetable once you know take out the cob, once the corn is off the cob. So I've tried. It takes me a little bit to kind of like do the math in my head of using some of the marinara sauce as a condiment, and exactly how much I get of like 10 ounces of vegetables plus 2 ounces of the marinara sauce for a condiment. But it all works out. So there's my corn. You can see I'm thinking, and I finally get it all figured out. Now, to measure out my fat portion, I'm going to use these little glass dishes that I got from Dollar Tree. And for my fat, I'm going to be using this homemade vegan Parmesan cheese that's made out of cashews, and then also some butter. So I'm going to be putting the butter on the corn along with some of that Parmesan cheese. And then the rest of the Parmesan cheese, I'm going to go ahead and put on my spaghetti. So you can see here, I'm trying to like, again, figure out exactly how much Parmesan versus butter I want. And I ended up doing, I think it was a 1/4 of an ounce of butter, and then the rest of it was Parmesan cheese, or no, sorry, 1/8 of an ounce of butter, and then 3/8 of an ounce of Parmesan cheese. And that ended up being the perfect amount of butter and Parmesan cheese for my spaghetti and my corn on the cob there. So you can see in a second, I'm going to go ahead and add all that on, and it ends up being super delicious. So this is kind of like 2 meals in one, which usually ends up happening when I do a fridge clean out. So basically I've got like a spaghetti with meat sauce, and then I've got 2 burgers with some corn and cheese on top. One last thing that I went ahead and added to my meal is some sugar-free ketchup. This is the Primal Kitchen brand, and you can see like way too much came out of that bottle. That's the only thing I don't like about this brand is it's that glass bottle, and it's so hard to pour out. So I had to like scrape it up and put it back in the bottle. But it all worked out. I got just the right amount of ketchup on my black bean burgers, and then I went ahead and paired it with a banana and some water. Okay, now on to dinner. So I made some zucchini fries with some seasoning salt from Penzeys, and I just cooked these in my oven. They're basically just roasted zucchini. Then for my next vegetable side dish, I did this garlic and ginger stir fry with broccoli, mushrooms, and onion. And I just did this really quick on my stove top. Then for my protein, I did this spicy baked tofu, and I slice and bake my tofu like this often. So I didn't bother weighing it because I know that 4 slices equals about 4 ounces. So I just go ahead and put 4 slices on my plate and call it good. And then for my fat, I did this mayo, sriracha, and lime sauce. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.